Okay, so after a few attempts, I tried to complete that mission where I had to use the decoupler splashdown. For some reason, it didn't work. Not sure what I did wrong or why it's not working. Doesn't matter though. We'll move on, and we're going to go back into orbit again. We're going to make a few changes though. We're going to upgrade a few things. One thing I want to upgrade is, for example, the tracking station. So right-click on the tracking station and upgrade that. So it'll give me extra visible points on the map that will help. So let's do that. And I'll go to mission control, also upgrade that. So that'll give me flight planning. And I'll show you what that means as well. Okay, so basically we're going to do the same as we did before. Even for all I care with the same ship as such. So look. Where is it? Orbitor 1.1, 1.1. Nah. Now that we've got a bit more science, I will add a bit more science, make things easier. So let's go back to research and development. So as you can see, like we start off with it, like, so you want to get these two first, definitely, and then these three. You definitely want these three. After this, you can kind of decide where you want to go, depending on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to go into space, advanced rocketry is going to give you stronger rockets. General construction will give you extra parts that can help. Aviation is, if you're going along the line of building your own planes, space planes, or even just normal planes going around the planet, that's what you want. I'm going to skip that myself for now. Flight control, you do want, because that gives you more controllable wings. That's the kind of wings we want, so it'll help getting off the ground. Then basic science, yeah, the more science project you're going to do. But what I'm going to start with myself is advanced rocketry, definitely that. It's not going to leave me much, it's going to leave me 18 points. It's not going to be enough for anything else. But yeah, that's what I want. That's a massive help for now. Alright, vehicle assembly. Okay, let's scrap that. Start from new. Well, the top is always the same basic model as such, but let's do it anyway. So I've got my ship, followed by the heat shield. Where is it? Heat shield. There we go. Followed by something to decouple from it. So that's the bottom of the ship. Top of the ship, in this case, always want a parachute. Parachute. That one there. I've got a few extra things. What's that? Star shot. Alright, a few new extra things. Science, not too fussed about that at the moment. Antenna, not too fussed. I'm just caring about getting to space and back. Yeah, so that's the basic. And we will start. Oh, I've got a new fuel tank. It's a bigger fuel tank. Doesn't make any difference. So, like, two of these say each other, about the same size and equal the same amount of fuel. The only difference that it makes, this one fuselage is has more structural integrity as the other one. So it's one piece is more stable than having two together, because it'll have this weak point of where it connects. That's the only difference it really makes as such. Okay, so let me add that and have a swivel. I'm not building much of a different ship than we've previously had. I just want to show a few things before we continue on. Build that. One of them. It's pretty big. Okay. Engine. This one's not going to end up much better than the last. I'll try it anyway. So, okay, make this tight. Add more thrust to this one, even though there's no need. Do it anyway, if I can. It'll have more aerodynamics, so it's not going to have more thrust. It's going to be pretty much the same rocket, but I want to show you something you haven't seen yet, if I can. Yep, I think I'm happy with that. Let's launch that. Very similar to the last rocket, if not almost identical. I want to show you a few tricks when it comes to orbiting. So, once we launch, as I mentioned before you reach 10,000 meters, you don't want to be over 350. Once you reach the 10,000, you can go over 350, okay? But at the same time, when you reach, this is the way I do it, so when you reach approximately 10,000, you start doing a slight tilt by 5 degrees to the right, so off to the east. When I reach 26,000, I want to be at a 15 to 20 degree angle to the east. At 36, I want to be at a 45, and after that I just want to keep turning until I'm almost horizontal. Now, that's a rough idea how I do it. You can try something similar. I'll just try it now so you can see. It may not even match with the numbers that I've just said, but that's kind of the numbers that I focus on depending on the velocity and the way the vehicle moves, but we'll give it a go, see what happens. Okay, here we go. Let's make sure this camera's set correctly. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, launch. Speed is going quite high. Pushing slightly towards the east, so off to the right on the nav ball, just slightly. I don't have much control over it yet anyway. Like that, and start using this. Now, what I've changed in this now, I've got a gimbal off to. I've got a gimbling engine. Oh, it's kind of losing control. It's okay. Accelerating upwards. Now, before I'm at the 10,000, I don't really want to make much of a turn, just a slight turn to the right, an inkling. So when I reach the 16, I want to be at about the 10 degree mark, possibly, something like this. That's good, I like it. Keep this going, and I want this marker rather than my actual pointer to then be at the 10 degree mark. I'm happy so far. Keep it going. Okay, so as you can see, I'm at 26 now. I'm pointing at the 30 degree mark, but this is still at the back. That's good. Don't want to be too far forward, because that's this marker here, the yellow marker, is my actual velocity, or my actual movement. Reaching 36 now, close to, so this is the direction I want to be going in. Keep it at that altitude. That's that. Let's have a quick look on the map. Let's see what's happening. Apoapsis is at 70,000, so I'm already in space. Happy days. So that kind of worked. So I'm happy with that angle. At the 36,000, I said I want to be at the 45-degree mark. Now I can hold off for a bit because I'm already in space as such. Okay, so like I'll fall slightly because I'm still in the atmosphere, so I'm still getting slowed down, but my highest point is in space. So I'll hold off for a bit. And once I get higher or close to the apoapsis, I don't want to start afterwards, that's too late. I want to start beforehand, so maybe about here. I can even place a marker. That's what I bought. That was the extra thing that I purchased with my science points. So I could mark here, for example, add maneuver. That's where I want to start. And it gives me a timer down here, I see. Okay, until I reach that node is 20 seconds away. But I don't need that yet because I'm doing it. I'm eyeballing it. What I want to do is start turning horizontally. Have a look at it. Right. So 71. That's pretty good. So I'm just in space. At this point in time. 3, 2, 1, and launch. Stay horizontal because I don't want to gain much more height. What I want to gain is distance. Halfway through my fuel. And stop. Have I made it? Let's see. That's my apoapsis. That's 130,000, so it's quite high. My periapsis is at 59. 59? Yeah, 59. So that's a bit low. So that's actually below the atmosphere. So I have to improve on that, okay? Because if I keep this orbit going, I'll hit the 59, and then this 130 will drop because the drag of the atmosphere will slow me down. But to increase this, rather than accelerate now, because if I accelerate now, what will happen is I accelerate this way. Okay, so it'll make this side bigger, and this side will slowly increase. So what I want to do is get all the way around to my apoapsis. Okay, so to my highest point that I have, and I'll do that now. I'll skip time for a bit. Let's see the sun down. Speed up a bit. Look at this. So you can see the mountains in the background. Goodbye, sun. And gone it is. Pretty cool. So I'll speed myself all the way around to my apoapsis. Okay. So I'm going to speed up time until I reach it. Okay. Because that doesn't matter. I'm in space for this time, so nothing's going to slow me down as such. Now that I reach my apoapsis, that's my highest point, so just think of it the same way as when we took off. This is my highest point, and what I want to do is I want to increase my complete distance. So to get this point over here, my periapsis, the lowest point, which you can't see at the moment, there it is there. To get that higher, rather than, for example, point upwards, point away from Earth, now what I want to do is accelerate along the same line. Right, so now that I'm at my apoapsis, so you see on the nav ball, you look at the different options you have. The two that we're caring about at the moment was this one here. So that's towards the apoapsis. And this one is away from it, right? So you can either thrust against or thrust with the direction you're going. Okay, so at this point in time we're going to thrust with it, aiming at so I'm aiming at my periapsis. Aiming at my apoapsis, I mean. And I'm slightly past it, but that doesn't matter. Am I? No. No, I was just looking at the map wrong way around. Oh yeah, I'm past it. It doesn't matter. Okay. So I'm aiming along the line that I'm going, and if I zoom out a bit, just accelerate for a second. Boom. Okay. Accelerate for half a second there. Now my periapsis is at 121, while the apoapsis is 131. So I've balanced them both out by accelerating along the line that I've already created. Now if I was to decelerate, it would make this whole thing smaller. So from the highest point, it would shrink. By this point in time, so this is 121, and this is 131. That was my highest point, and this was my lowest point. This was at 59,000. Now it's 121 from that short that it did. I'm now in quite a high orbit compared to what I could have been earlier. Now, for example, if I want to accelerate, so if I want this to be in a steady line, so just add a bit more, slow it down. What's that? That's 27. That's 32. So I just wait till I was here and accelerate or decelerate to get to the point, so that I can make that a stable orbit. When I say stable, I mean that both sides are equal. Yeah, and now I'm back in space. Have a look, see what Jebediah sees. Amazing. What a view. What a view. Right, and now again I'm in a position where I'm in a stable orbit, and I'll stay in this orbit until something changes. Until I change something myself, I mean, slow down or whatnot. So yeah, that's that for now.